Welcome back, tennis obsessors, to another video where, as you can see, it's going to be a little different. We're going to be doing a review of the new Head Endure Pro BOA shoes. Now, the shoes coming in at upwards of £100, I was borderline scared to buy these, stressing if these dials would even do anything. Would the laces snap? Would it even tighten properly? And is this new technology pointless? But alongside being nervous, I was also intrigued on if this shoe would change the game. I'll start by explaining the technology in the shoes and say if I noticed it when using them, and then discuss if they are worth the price. So for the context of the shoe, it's a new series which is in between the Head Revolt shoes, which are built for durability, and the Sprints, which, as you can guess, is made for speed. Now, the technology. It has the BOA Perform Fit Wrap and the dual Li2 dials, which are these. They claim to be good for the micro adjustments to get the perfect tightness of your laces, and I can tell you that they do this perfectly. I have this slight OCD when it comes to my laces. I want to make sure that it's tight, that it's not slipping off my heel, but not too tight that it's cutting off the circulation to my foot. It's a very fine line and one that I usually struggle to find, but not with these. I get the perfect tightness straight away, and then when I do need to tighten them or loosen them, it's really easy. So much less faff of undoing and redoing laces. To tighten, you just need to pop this in, and then you can screw it to the right, or left to loosen. To take them off or put them on, pop it out. Simple. It's one less distraction on the court, which is crucial for playing good tennis, and I can tell you it's helped in my tournaments a lot. You are probably wondering if the dials make the shoes heavy and clunky. I can't really notice the difference in weight between these and the Head Revolt shoes. Maybe they might be slightly lighter, but they're not as light as something like the Nike Vapor Pros. The side panels on the shoes add more stability than most lace shoes, and the core frame technology adds stability from heel to toe. I will say these do feel like some of the most stable shoes I've worn, and I've worn a lot of tennis shoes in my time. It has a PU molded upper for optimal flex and durability, and the outsole is made with Head's Hybration Plus, adding even more durability. And I'm telling you, these shoes do last. I've used these shoes for the same amount of time as I've used the Revolts, and as you can see, the difference is night and day. And lastly, the dual midsole is made with Dynafoam for shock absorption, adding even more comfort. I will say I'm able to play for longer with these because of that added shock absorption, and after a long day of training or matches, I don't feel like my feet are in agony when I take these off. One thing I will say that makes these shoes different from every other tennis shoe I've tried, apart from the lack of laces of course, is the breaking period is non-existent. A lot of the time it takes me ages to break in shoes, with my feet being quite wide. I often have to take off new shoes after about 30 minutes for a couple of days before I can even wear them properly. But these shoes wore perfectly straight out of the box. Comfortable to wear, not too tight when I put them on, but not too loose that it was slipping on my heel. All in all, perfect. Now we will look at my journey of tennis shoes, and I will be comparing them to these. Now let's go all the way back to my first tennis shoe, the Game Court 2s. Now at a price point of around £25 to £30, as you can imagine, they're not as good as the Endures, not as durable, light, stable, but a lot cheaper. I will say you can't really complain for the price of these. Now, moving on to the Court Jam Controls. Slightly more expensive at around £45, for around 60% cheaper than the Head Endures. I will say it's worth spending the extra money than getting a shoe like this. Is the Adidas Adizero Ubersonic shoes. The reason I'd say they're the closest that I've used is that they have the sock on the shoe that the Endures have. This sock gives the shoe a nice snug fit on your foot. A very nice shoe to use, but at a price point of around £85 to £90, I will say it's worth spending that extra 20 odd quid on the Endures. But still a really nice shoe. And as you saw earlier, I used the Head Revolt Evo 2.0s. Now, depending on the colour you get, these are around 50 odd pounds, so a pretty mid-level price point. Being Head's endurable shoe, these are slightly less durable than the Endures are. As I showed you earlier, these shoes have had the same amount of playing time, and there's a big difference between them. The Endures have better bounce and comfort than these Revolts have, even though they've played the same amount of time. But that is with around 3 months of consistent playing and tournaments, so you can't really complain about any shoe falling off. Now, the Nike Vapor Pro 2s, a very popular shoe that I see a lot of people wear. They are less durable than the Endures are, but slightly lighter, making you quicker around the court. But the Endures are easier to break in than these are, especially if you've got wide feet. I would say that I'd spend the extra 20 odd pounds that the Endures cost, purely for ease with the laces, but also because of my wide feet, they fit so much nicer on my foot. Finally, are these shoes worth it, or should you save your money? As you've just heard, I've tried a lot of shoes from a lot of different brands, and all of these shoes have been worn in tournaments. And after all of that, I will say that the Endures feel better when I'm playing. The dial system is a game changer, and they last ages. Yes, a very expensive shoe, but if you've got the money, then I think it's a justified purchase. I will be sticking with the shoe from now on, and because of the durability, I won't have to keep buying shoes every 4 to 5 months. So the price actually works out pretty similar. It's just a very big purchase to make at the time. As always, thank you for watching the video. I hope this has helped you decide on if you should get these shoes or not. Leave a comment down below if you've tried these shoes, or if you have any more questions about them, and I'd be happy to answer them. And while you're down there, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe as well. It does really help the channel out. And I will see you in the next one.